Hi, my name's Mary Scanlon, and this is my fifth book critique. My featured text is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. This is a story about a little boy and an apple tree that have a special connection. The tree loves the little boy who plays in her leaves, climbs in her branches, eats all her apples, and plays hide and seek with her. As time goes on, the little boy grows up and stops visiting the tree as often. When he does come back to the tree, he's always asking her for something that the tree cannot give him, but she's always extending herself and offering herself to the little boy. The moral of this story is the selflessness that the tree possesses and the love that she gives to the boy. I think this would be a good book to incorporate into a classroom when talking about kindness and patience. So I would use this in a second grade creative writing lesson plan. I would read The Giving Tree to my students and then have them create a story about the time that they have received a gift from nature. I would have them create a story online using Storybird, and they could either do Storybird offers three options. You can do like a poem, haiku, anything under the poetry genre, and then you can do a short story or kind of like a long narrative. So I would let my students choose. I think the short story would be really cute. And then I would have them read these stories to their classmates once the project was done to show that like you can receive any gift through nature. And this just allows them to think of a time that they were grateful for what they received, such as like fruit from trees or sea glass at the beach. I just think it's really important to connect with nature sometimes and realize that it's a gift from God. So I would go to Storybird and I created one right here. And I did it based off of bunnies picking apples. So I kind of made it like a little different, but I said apple picking as bunnies. So let me go to the next page. So I said, one day I went apple picking. I wanted to find the ripest red gala apple there was to bring back to my little bunny sisters. While I was walking down a path, baby bunny fell asleep on Mama's back. She always loved taking naps on her walks. So I just thought this was a really cute way to incorporate this lesson. And I thought that later on in the story, I could go on and just say, like, as a bunny, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, but as a bunny, I received these fruits and, it helped my family be healthy and have a source of food. So I just thought this was a cute way to incorporate kind of a creative writing lesson for students. So then, let me pull this, oops, let me pull this down. Um, So then in an English lesson plan, I would read The Giving Tree to the class, and then I would talk about the different virtues that are shown throughout this book. So kindness and patience and selflessness. This book, I think, is just a really, really good book to incorporate into the classroom, especially when children are learning about being patient with one another and sharing and caring with one another. So I would have them create a Padlet online and tell of a time that they felt most loved and when they have been kind to others. And then I would have my students share them with each other through a blog and then share it with their parents so they could send it through email. And this all just sounds so young to me that they would be emailing at this little age, but I just keep realizing that technology is being integrated into classrooms at such a young age. My nephew knows how to work an iPad and he's 3 years old. So it's just insane to me how fast technology is being incorporated. So I called mine The Giving Tree. And here's an example. I said, share a time when you felt most loved. Share a time when you have been kind to another person. So I did an example right here about the time I felt most loved. And it was when I was in the hospital this summer and was sick. And my parents came and took care of me. And, I had a really long recovery process after that. So it really made me feel loved. So I think this would be a great way for students to reflect on times that others have been nice to them and have loved them. So then, let me pull this back down. So then my other titles for this text set are A Ball for Daisy, and this is actually a wordless picture book, but I think it's really cute to incorporate into like a preschool classroom or even a first grade classroom, and just allow students to kind of use their imagination to see what the ball means to Daisy and just feed off the emotions that are being portrayed through the illustrations. And then the relatives came. I just thought this was a really cute book because everyone loves their relatives for the most part. And in childhood when you're growing up and you get to see your cousins. That's just such an amazing time. So I really loved that. I thought that was a cute, realistic fiction book. And then Dragons Love Tacos. I just thought this book was really funny because it's talking about how dragons love tacos but they don't like salsa. So I thought this was a funny, comical book to incorporate into a classroom. And then Black and White, I would introduce this in an older setting just because it's a little confusing because there are four different stories going on throughout the book, but they all interrelate at the end. So it would be confusing to a younger class, but you could also only tell one of the stories and kind of allow them to hypothesize and guess what they think will happen in the end of the book. So this is my fifth book critique, and I hope that you can use these resources in your future classroom or these books. Thank you.